Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Joe Flash. Welcome back to another reaction video. So, I apologize and sorry that it's taken me a couple days for me to be able to get back into this. I was gonna do it yesterday but I unfortunately was tired and I just wanted to go to bed. And I'm kind of almost feeling just as tired as I am today, but I have enough to at least make at least one video. I don't know, I was gonna plan to make two today, but as I said, I got a little carried away because if you know me, I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. I'm currently rewatching it on DVD, so I'm getting carried away with that, along with other things, so apologies. But anyway, it's about 11:17, so it's getting late, so I probably will have I have at least enough time to make one YouTube video before I go to bed. So, in my last video, which was uploaded, I think it was, yeah, Sunday, after I completed Spider-Man Friend to Foe for the Wii, I told you that I was going to do Mortal Kombat character voice comparison reaction videos, and so I did. The first character I did was Johnny Cage because he's my favorite, so I already got Johnny Cage taken care of. For the next character, I'm going to be doing the one and only, the man who is technically like Earthrealm's next protector, and obviously is probably Raiden's best student, I guess, if that's what you want to call him. I don't know. I'm just trying to make something cool up for him. But anyway, it's Liu Kang. Now, Liu Kang is a pretty awesome character. Liu Kang will always be another classic character in the Mortal Kombat series. He'll never get old, without a doubt. Liu Kang he's just been probably one of the most favorable characters in Mortal Kombat for years now, ever since his first Mortal Kombat game, and then he goes on to become, like, guaranteed to be the next protector of Earthrealm. You know, Raiden's always had faith in him, and you know, he's got a lot of history in Mortal Kombat games himself too, Liu Kang. Like, he's another great character. Liu Kang is pretty awesome. I've grown to really love him over the years as well, so I do enjoy this character. He just will never get old in the Mortal Kombat franchise. I mean, any classic character from, like, the first 3 Mortal Kombat games just will never get old, and Liu Kang is no stranger to never getting old for the Mortal Kombat franchise. Now, if they do make another Mortal Kombat game in the future, which people are concerned to wonder if it is going to not, because if y'all played Mortal Kombat 11, you've probably seen what happens. People are kind of a little curious to wonder what's going to be the future of Liu Kang, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, this is a voice comparison reaction video, so I'm about to compare the voices of Liu Kang by none other than Generation West, because I told y'all my opinions. Generation West's voice comparison for the Mortal Kombat characters are better than Behemoth 89, because he only covers the animated characters, like video game wise and stuff. He doesn't cover live action ones, because, you know, some of the Mortal Kombat characters have had live action appearances, so you gotta cover the actors too, you know. And this is the updated version. As I said, I usually go with the updated versions because the originals don't always contain at least about almost close to everybody that's voiced them over the years, so I thought I'd do updated version because it also has, of course, also Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang voice actor as well. So, you know, you gotta at least get close to everybody, so that's just why I'm not gonna do the original first before I do the updated version, you know, because it's better to go ahead and just cover everybody, you know. I mean, almost close to at least everybody who's voiced Liu Kang and all that stuff. Just the same thing as I did with Johnny Cage in my last video. So, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this started, and obviously this is going to be quite some list as well, even though it's not that much of a long video. It's only like 7 minutes and 57 seconds, but this video could turn out to be longer because I'll probably be speaking a couple things. So, you know, like Johnny Cage, even though that video wasn't that long either, but I had a few things I needed to say, so it took the video a little bit of extra time to complete because, you know, I had some things to say. So, this one will probably be no stranger if I do the same in here as well. But anyway, let's find out who I will have as my favorites for Liu Kang in this one. So, let's see. Like John Cena and Triple H will always say, your time is up, my time is now, it's time to play the game. Let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Liu Kang, voice comparison, updated in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hold on, let me turn my fan off. Comparing the voices of Liu Kang. Wow, I didn't even know this. I actually didn't even know that Ed Boon was actually the one who voiced Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 2. Or, well, I mean, Liu Kang did have a voice actor in Mortal Kombat 1, but I guess they just didn't go with that guy. Maybe Ed Boon wasn't the same guy who voiced him in the first Mortal Kombat game, I don't know, but I didn't know Ed Boon was the one who voiced Liu Kang in the Mortal Kombat 2 game. That's pretty impressive. I thought it was somebody else. I really did not know it was Ed Boon. Ed Boon, like, he's the creator or the director of Mortal Kombat, whatever his duty is, but he's been around in the Mortal Kombat franchise for years now, you know, so, you know, he's always, you know, if you gotta think of Mortal Kombat, you gotta think of Ed Boon, you know. There's been a lot of things he's done over the years in Mortal Kombat franchise. Probably one of the most memorable things I can even remember from him is that he's actually also the same guy who also did the iconic Scorpion catchphrase, you know, get over here, you know? That'll never get old either. And it's cool that how in every Mortal Kombat game, even when they have a different voice actor voicing Scorpion for when he talks, they always use Ed Boon's voice to say his iconic catchphrase, you know, get over here, so that's cool, you know? But wow, I had no idea he even did Liu Kang's voice for the Mortal Kombat 2 game. That's pretty awesome, but definitely thumbs up, double thumbs up for that matter, since it's Ed Boon, you know? Classic. Funny stuff as well, just hearing these voices. Classic Mortal Kombat games never get old. I heard of this, as I mentioned in Johnny Cage voice comparison. I heard of this series, a little animated series. Not sure if that was a successful series though. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about this. Mortal Kombat: The Journey Begins, 1995.
Stories about the great tournament. I thought they were just fairy tales and legends. Our world is a realm that exists on another plane. It is separated from Earth by a mystical doorway. Only the tournament, Mortal Kombat, can unlock it. They still are. They trained me. I thought they were just a bunch of silly old men telling crazy stories.
I'll say maybe.
You're giving us much to think about, Lord Rain, but
Just hearing this guy's performance, he kind of makes Liu Kang sound like he's a different person. It doesn't really sound like Liu Kang. It sounds almost like another hero character, honestly. Kind of like a Disney character or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something, but I don't know. I just got to give this one a maybe. It's okay, but it just makes Liu Kang sound a little different, so I just got to give it a maybe.
not enough time to learn the lessons well.
Hey, Sub-Zero's cool. Sorry. He's a warrior of honor.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this as well. Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. That's another animated Mortal Kombat series.
What is it now, Striker? You know, backseat drivers are usually in the same vehicle. Yeah, I heard ya. I still don't understand why I have to pilot this thing. I'd rather face 1,000 ninjas than a single...
Yeah, I'm sorry, but no.
I've never been sure I could have defeated...
That doesn't even sound like Liu Kang. That sounds like somebody that could be from like a Japanese anime character or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe this guy is a Japanese person, but yeah, I just no. Yes, I would go a lot more crazier than that, but I can't because, like I said, it's very late. It's like 11:25, and Mike's already sleeping. I can hear him banging on the wall a couple times. But hell yeah, the Mortal Kombat film, the first Mortal Kombat film in 1995. Never gets old. And yeah, he did also play him in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was in 1997. So at least they didn't replace him. Unfortunately, though, they usually replaced all the... Because it was sad that in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, they replaced almost all the original original cast from the first movie, replaced them with different actors in the second movie, but at least they kept Robin Shao as Liu Kang in the second movie. But yes... But it's still, those two films are still great, even though I still like the first one, 1995, better. But, you know, those Mortal Kombat films never get old. Those are classic and just the best live-action Mortal Kombat sequels they made so far, you know. And Robin Shao, like, when he... There's just no denying his performance at all. Like, Robin Shao, he is Liu Kang, bro. Can't go wrong with him. He is the one and only Liu Kang. This guy just... literally did such an amazing job. Like, he's almost like a perfect, you know, like, I know I don't sound like I'm that excited, I'm sorry, because like I said, I gotta keep my voice down, because I don't want Mike to get too upset, but this guy, you know, he just makes a perfect performer for Liu Kang. Like, he literally brought him right to life as well. Just like I said in my last video, Lyndon Ashby brought Johnny Cage to life, so did Robin Shao with Liu Kang. I mean, how can you not go wrong with this, man? Robin Shao, like, he is freaking Liu Kang, bro.
The man who killed my brother will be there. Oh, yes. I forgot. We're fighting for the fate of the world.
when you look at him, he just really, really makes you think of just Liu Kang just came right out of the video game, you know what I'm saying? Like, just looking at this guy, he just gives me feelings of just having Liu Kang just come right out of your TV and comes into real life, you know what I mean? There is no doubt about it. Robin Shao will always be the one true legendary Liu Kang.
I've once again defended my title as champion of Mortal Kombat, defended the realm of Earth, but I have failed to save the realm of Beginning. In doing so, I have also lost Kitana forever.
Okay. This guy almost looks like Liu Kang himself. Like, his name was Joshua, I think it said, yeah. He kind of almost looks like Liu Kang himself.
I am Liu Kang. I come from Earthrealm. This is Kung Lao. We are here to stop Shang Tsung from attacking Earth. Sub-Zero is dead. He died after the
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Scorpion killed him. For the last time, she is not my girlfriend. We are here to stop Shang Tsung.
The last time she's not my girlfriend.
Warrior named Kitana, an ally.
We know how everybody's always talking about Liu Kang and Kitana.
You fight with honor and you care for your friends. I could not ask for more than that. Go in peace. The Lin Kuei are not behind this. They are suffering losses as well.
Yeah, I didn't know what to say, but there's kind of a lot of exclamation about this, but hold on, let me get to it in a minute. Alright, I'm back, sorry. So, there's a bit of little exclamation about this before I get into things, but basically, what I'm trying to say is that Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, I mean, that game was okay. It didn't really have a lot of content, though. All you could just do is play arcade mode and then story mode with both the Mortal Kombat and the DC Universe path. I used to like it when I was a kid, just because back then I used to just, I don't know, I just thought it was cool, because if you were a kid, you'd like this kind of stuff, crossover, and I was more into the DC stuff back then before I was in Mortal Kombat, but I remember when I saw the Dragon logo, I remembered Mortal Kombat when I played it as a kid. So, you know, it brought back memories, and it was just pretty cool seeing this crossover, but unfortunately the game didn't really exactly do that well. Like, it didn't have a lot of content. The fighting engine was not that good either, because basically this was still technically a Mortal Kombat game, but because they brought the DC universe into the mix, it wasn't rated M like most Mortal Kombat games are. It got rated for T, for teens, and they really turned down the violence and everything, because, you know, it would have been bad for the DC universe just to see characters having their decapitated body parts off and stuff. So, you know, when Mortal Kombat characters do their fatalities, there wasn't really a lot of blood, no decapitation like that. So it really turned down the fighting engine. But then again, when you added DC characters, it kind of makes sense. But a lot of people were probably disappointed in this game, you know. So that game wasn't all that good, especially after when I watched Mr. G-Star321's video when he played this game about his honest opinions. I agreed with him, because, you know, I eventually saw it myself. Like, that's why I like Mr. G-Star321. Like, he's known for Mortal Kombat gaming, and a lot of his opinions really make a lot of sense. Like, he has good points, you know. So when I started listening to his opinions about this game, he really made up a lot of good points, you know. So yeah, so it's really underrated. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of this game anymore like I used to, so, but I still kind of like it at the same time, just because it's cool having this crossover. But it could have been a lot better if they maybe wouldn't, if it could have been like, it could have been more better if it was like rated M still, and maybe they could have turned up the violence still. But like I said, because they added DC characters, apparently they didn't want to do that, you know, but that's fine. So I give this game kind of a maybe, you know what I say nowadays. I have mixed opinions on it nowadays, but nothing less. The guy who voiced Liu Kang in this game was good, though, so I'll still give him a thumbs up for Tom Chow.
Something resembling a red devil with a bolt of lightning on his chest.
Well, nonetheless, he did good. Just because the game wasn't that good, I mean, I'll still give Tom Chow credit for his voice of Liu Kang.
I clearly sense an abnormality in his chi. The energy
I can almost see his relation and looking like Liu Kang himself when I'm looking at his eyes. This is pretty cool. Oh, he voiced him in Mortal Kombat 9. Oh, that's cool. Well, definite heck yeah now, since I like Mortal Kombat 9. May have never played it, but that's cool though. Well, as a Tom Chow really isn't a bad Liu Kang at all. He probably have to go. He probably would have to be one of my favorites if I was to choose, because you know I have to choose which are my favorites for video game and animated wise. Tom Chow probably might have to be added. Okay, now I'm definitely gonna add him now because apparently he was also in Mortal Kombat X. Heck yeah, that was fantastic as well. Mortal Kombat X. Even though unfortunately Liu Kang was actually dead in this game because he was killed in Mortal Kombat 9, so when he came back in Mortal Kombat X, he was unfortunately dead. He was resurrected, I think, by Shinnok or something, so he was an evil spirited, thing. Like, it wasn't really Liu Kang, it was just an evil spirit clone of him or something like that. Same with Katana and Kung Lao because they died as well, so. But at least for the human version, it's still good too. So at least they still provided a real human version of him, even though Liu Kang was really dead in the story mode, but at least you got a human version, because just imagine if they didn't have human version of Liu Kang and they just would have kept it the monster evil version throughout the whole game and then add an alternate skin for him to be human. That would have been kind of terrible, because hey, some people's like, I want to be human Liu Kang, I don't want to be him as evil, I want to be human good guy Liu Kang, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that it'll also show the picture and also show him that he also voiced him in evil form, but still, Mortal Kombat X was a great game. Like I said, I was thinking about adding him to the list, but yeah, there you go. There's evil Liu Kang. I was gonna think about adding Tom Chow to the list for my favorite animated and video game wise voices, but then after when it showed me Mortal Kombat X, now I'm definitely gonna add him for sure. I was thinking about it, but now that you show me this, heck yeah, double thumbs up now for that matter. You know what? Yes. Even though Liu Kang was actually evil in this movie, Mortal Kombat Legacy 2, Liu Kang was actually evil in this version. Like, he's usually the good guy, but he was actually evil in this one. Like, he had the love of a woman when he tried to be a normal man and left the temple to, like, pursue life as a normal man. Unfortunately, when the love of his life was killed, he went mad psycho crazy, and it caused him to change character, where it turned him into something that you probably would have not expected him to become. So Liu Kang was really evil in this movie, but still, overall, Brian T's performance was actually pretty good too. I actually almost thought this was Robin Chow when I first saw him, because he kind of almost resembled Robin Chow to me at first. No, Robin Chow, excuse me, I'm saying the wrong name. I actually almost thought he looked like Robin Chow when I first saw him, but I could see there is a bit of difference, but he kind of almost resembled him a little bit, but there is clearly a different look between him and Robin Chow, but still, Brian T did a good job either way, so I'll go ahead and give him a thumbs up, even though these Mortal Kombat Legacy movies were very underrated, and a lot of people weren't really a big fan of these, but from what it was given, and from what Brian T did, he actually did a pretty good job, even though Liu Kang was evil. But still give him credit for his action-packed, acting that he did, so I just have to show my respect for Brian T. Just like in my last video with Johnny Cage, if I was to have to choose a second favorite actor other than Lyndon Ashby, I would have to choose the guy who also played him in this movie as well, Mortal Kombat Legacy 2, so, you know what? So, even though Robin Chow is my only favorite Liu Kang, but second favorite, definitely would probably have to be Brian T. Yes. Heck yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 is fantastic. Matthew Yang King does have an amazing voice as well. Look at that face of Liu Kang, it looks kind of cheesy a little bit, doesn't it? And then again, maybe he's just giving a facial expression or something. I kind of was expecting to think that it would be the same guy. It would be the same guy from Mortal Kombat X voicing him, but I guess apparently they chose a different guy from Mortal Kombat 11. But he did a good job too, though, Matthew King. And you can't forget about evil Liu Kang, because even in Mortal Kombat 11, he was still evil. Because really, throughout most of the story, Liu Kang was evil still. He was still this evil spirit, even in Mortal Kombat 11. But however, during the story mode, they showed throwbacks to when they were alive, when him and Kung Lao were, like, alive, and they were defending Earthrealm, so, they showed them in human form from when they were alive. And like I said, people are questioning about if they're going to make another Mortal Kombat movie and what they're going to do with Liu Kang, because if you haven't played Mortal Kombat 11 and seen how it ended, then, you know, you wouldn't be able to understand why people are questioning about what the future is going to be for Liu Kang in the next game if they make another one.
I have mastered Shinnok sorcery. I will add your soul strength to mine.
So Liu Kang's main costume in this game is him in evil form. Like, if you select them when you want to play against somebody, you know, their main costume really is. So Liu Kang's main costume really is this evil spirited form. They actually went with the evil spirited form for his main costume, but at least, you know, there's always alternate costumes where you could play him in human form and stuff, which is good, you know. Like, if I do ever play this game, I know it's on the Switch and I know I can get it, but I'm just not sure if I'm ready to play it yet. But if I decide to, and if I ever decide to be Liu Kang, and if I have the alternate costumes unlocked, I'm just mostly going to always play as him in human form, because I'm just not as big of a fan of the evil forms, honestly. I mean, the evil forms are pretty cool too, but I just prefer them in human form. Like, when Liu Kang and Katana and Kung Lao were evil in here, I just wasn't really a big fan of it. Not to mention that Kung Lao, when he was in evil form, he was bald as well, which I didn't really even like that either. So, same with Katana and Kung Lao. I prefer them all in their human forms, you know? Because honestly, I think that's how they should be. And this is what happened to him at the end of the game. I didn't think they were going to include this, but guess apparently they just have to. This is how it ended. Basically, this is Liu Kang, but he becomes a fire god. So basically, he came back to life and he becomes the fire god, which means he's like the new Earthrealm protector, I think. I think he pretty much basically becomes the new protector of Earthrealm, and I think Raiden retired, I think, and gave his powers to him, so that's what is it. I think this is what it is, really. Liu Kang, you know, he becomes the official new protector of Earthrealm. I think Raiden retires or something, I don't know, but he becomes Fire God, so this is actually pretty cool, you know. So this is why people are questioning about what the future of the next Mortal Kombat game is going to be and what Liu Kang's future will be now that he's this Fire God, you know. But at least, you know, Liu Kang shall protect the Earth, you know. I mean, Raiden's always been like his... Liu Kang's always been the man that Raiden's always been having faith in, you know, since he, you know, became like his... Since Liu became like his student, I guess, or something like that. So, you know, Raiden's always had faith in Liu Kang. You know, even in some of the Mortal Kombat games, like Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, when he was killed by Shang Tsung thanks to an assist from Quan Chi, Raiden just couldn't handle him being dead, so what he did was he brought him back to life, but he didn't bring Liu's actual spirit back into his own body. He brought a zombie spirit into him, which did bring his body back to life, but he wasn't really technically Liu, you know, it was a zombie, but he still kind of fought like Liu, you know what I'm saying? So it was pretty crazy, but it was actually pretty cool, badass seeing Liu Kang in zombie form. That only lasted for a couple games. It only lasted from Mortal Kombat Deception and then Armageddon, and then you know, by the time they made Mortal Kombat 9, they eventually went back with him being human again. Because basically in Mortal Kombat 9, you know, they were still taking place after Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but Raiden, in the beginning of the story, Mortal Kombat combatants were all being killed, and Raiden was about to be the last one to be killed by Shao Kahn before he traveled back into time to retell the whole story all over again from the first Mortal Kombat game. Like, the whole story got resurrected, and Liu Kang was alive again, and then he does die again, but this time he doesn't become zombie, he becomes the evil spirited, like, form taken by Shinnok or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Him, Kung Lao, and Katana, you know? So, you know, but still zombie Liu Kang was pretty cool while it lasted as well, you know? But yeah, it's even pretty cool that he becomes the new protector of Earthrealm by becoming Fire God Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11. But yeah, I'm curious to wonder what they're going to do with Liu Kang in the future now for the next game if they make another one. I'm sure they will. It's just going to take probably maybe years or something, just depending on whenever they feel like it, I guess. It kind of does take a few years for them to make another Mortal Kombat game.
I know where to find the hourglass. We can beat Kronika. Each realm must choose its own destiny. Whatever those choices.
This guy voicing Liu Kang just makes him sound legendary, especially when he's in Fire God form. Okay. Now, because they were updating this from 2020, I think this came out in 2020 probably. I don't know, what year did this come out in? Okay, so this was released on May 9th, 2019, so this was released 3 years ago, so obviously because it's 3 years old, it was released in 2019. Obviously, they didn't include the guy who played him in the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. If y'all remember last year, they did make a live-action Mortal Kombat movie last year, but it kind of didn't really live up to the hype for most people. It didn't really live up to that hype. the hype for me. Like, I thought it was an okay movie, but it just didn't really live up to that much high. Like, it was good in some ways, and it was cool and all, but like I said, it will never be anything compared to the original 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, especially when it comes down to Robin Shao being the original Liu Kang, you know? That there was a man that did play Mortal Kombat. Like, they put Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 2021 movie, and there was a guy that played him. I don't remember what his name was, but for him, I'll give him a thumbs up because his performance was Liu was actually okay too, you know? Even though that movie maybe wasn't as good as it maybe I was hoping for it to be, or it didn't live up to the hype, but that guy's performance as Liu Kang for the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie last year was actually okay. He actually did a pretty good job, so I'll give him a thumbs up too. So, like I said, I'm sorry if I don't sound like I'm talking loud enough, because like I said, it's getting late, and like I said, can't wake anybody up. So, for video game and animated wise, Liu Kang, obviously I have to go with both Matthew King and, was his name Tom Chow? Yeah, Tom Chow was his name, yeah. Matthew King and Tom Chow, they're my two favorite voices for animated and video game wise Liu Kang. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll include Ed Boon as well because, you know, the original Mortal Kombat games, you know. So I'll put Ed Boon on the list as well because, you know, you can't go wrong with the original Mortal Kombat game. So I got to put Ed Boon up there as well. So Matthew King, Tom Chow, and Ed Boon are my three favorite animated video game voice actors for Liu Kang. And then for live action wise, you already know without a doubt, number one is without a doubt Robin Chow from the original Mortal Kombat 1995 movie. And even though he's my only favorite, even though Robin Shao is my only favorite, as I mentioned earlier, if I was to have to probably pick a second favorite Liu Kang, I probably would have to pick Brian T. Because even though Mortal Kombat Legacy 2 was very underrated and a lot of people didn't really think it was that good, Brian T actually did a pretty good job, despite Liu Kang being evil in that movie. But Brian T did a good job while he did, you know, he had some good performances and everything for being Liu in that movie, you know. So I give it to him. And then I guess I'll also give it to the guy who played Liu Kang in the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie last year. I guess I'll give him credit too, even though he's not really up on my list, but I'll go ahead and give him credit too, because, you know, even his performance in the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie was pretty good. He actually didn't make a bad Liu Kang as well. I kind of liked how his outfit kind of almost resembled Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat 11, because in the story mode, there was an outfit that Liu was wearing where he was wearing white, whatever, and that's kind of what Liu Kang's outfit almost looked like in the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie. When they had the guy playing him, he kind of almost made him dress up in almost a similar outfit that Liu Kang wears in Mortal Kombat 11 for a throwback story in the story mode, you know what I mean? So that was pretty cool, you know? So, yep, those are my favorites for Liu Kang. So, anyway, now it's time for y'all to vote in the comments down below. Who do you love as the voice of Liu Kang? And who do you love as the favorite actor for Liu Kang? Or, you know, you get the whole point. Who's your favorite Liu Kang? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to share with all your friends to get their honest opinions, because I definitely love to know. So, you got my picks. Now it's time for y'all to vote. So, it's about 11:45, so yep, I better wrap it up. I better go ahead and get to bed now. I better brush my teeth and get on with it, because I need some sleep. So, I wish I could have done another video today, because I was going to want to try to do two, but like I said, if I wasn't too lazy watching this DVD and stuff like that, I probably could have, but it's alright, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not like if I'm going to take forever and take another hiatus off of YouTube again. I don't plan on taking another hiatus for quite some time, because I missed being on YouTube for my last hiatus, and I decided to come back, you know, so I ain't going to be taking a hiatus for a little while. So, maybe I'll probably do some more tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe I'll come home and maybe do some more tomorrow. I do have a few characters in mind that I want to do. I'm going to do, for the next character after I was going to do Liu Kang, I was going to plan on doing Sonya Blade next, so probably starting by tomorrow, if I do decide to do more characters when I come home tomorrow, I'll do Sonya Blade next, and I'll see if there's anybody else that I want to do next. I mean, it doesn't really matter who comes first and who comes second and stuff, because I'm eventually going to try to get to every Mortal Kombat character that they got on YouTube, you know? Like, I'll probably do Sonya Blade, and I definitely need to do the ninja characters, especially Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and Kung Lao. I mean, there's a lot of characters, you know? Just whatever I can find on YouTube, I'll try to cover as many of them as I can, you know what I'm saying? But, anyway, you get the point, so I'm out of here. Thank you all for watching. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. So, that'll be for today, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Dislike, give it a thumbs down. Join me next time in the next video. To all you boys, men, and guys out there. I'm sorry, fist bumps go to all of you. To all the girls, ladies, and women out there. Kisses go out to all of you. But until then, this is Joe Flash signing off, and have a good day. Or good night.